Manisa is ready to enliven a significant tourism potential by means of its historical and cultural values coming from the past. Manisa hosts throughout the history many civilizations along with mythological stories and fat lands. It continues economical activity with its agricultural potential, its factories established in both the agricultural industry and organized industrial zone, as well as its products exported to countries throughout the world. The history of the region dates back to 25,000 years. The Hittites, Akkadians, Phrygians also lived on this geography. However, Lydians left much deeper marks. Then the Persians and Macedonians have passed and gone. The capital city of Lydia Kingdom, which coined money for the first time in history under the guarantee of state, is the Sardis city, located within the borders of Salihli district. Again in a region of this district called Bintapella, tumulus and kind graves were found as carried from the term of Lydians. The gymnasium complex and synagogue, which were found during the digs in Salihli, are those we know to be left from the Great Rome. Three of 7 churches, Sardis, Thyatira and Philadelphia, as mentioned in the New Testament and considered as sacred in the expansion of Christianity to the west, are located within the borders of Manisa. Ancient city of Manisa, Agai, is one of 12 Aeol cities mentioned by the famous historian Herodotus. While we tour between sculptures, mosaics, busts, wall tombs and gravestones in the archaeological section of Manisa Museum, we understand it better as to how a historical museum we are living on. During the Ottoman Empire, Manisa became an important center where the Ottoman princess gained sultanate experiences under Sarahan Ensign. As we learn very well from history, this is the place where famous sultans passed initial tests. 16 princes, including Murad II, Mehmed the Conqueror, Suleiman the Magnificent, Selim II, and Murad III, had performed here as the governors of ensigns and then have become sultans. Theological schools, lodges and libraries were built as it gained actual identity during the term of Ottoman Empire. And Manisa was turned into a culture and education center. It gained reputation as the city where the candidate princes were trained to become sultans. Manisa witnesses a living culture with its caravanserais, baths, fountains, Muradia Mosque and Complex, Great Mosque of Manisa, and certainly the Sultan Mosque and Complex. Kula is like an open museum, with its houses and narrow streets bearing the features of civil Ottoman architecture. These houses are mostly 2-storied and with window seats. There are yards in all these houses as separated from the street with high walls. And who knows who may have left their footprints, pleasures, pains, even loves on these yards. Traditional occupations, handicrafts tend to be lost slowly. However, you may find traditional motifs on carpets woven with natural dyed wools by the women of Manisa with passion. Another handicraft is felt production, which makes everyone think and be amazed. Saddles are manufactured by the calloused hands of craftsmen, but it is not possible to estimate how long these saddles can resist against time. Another craftsman engages in ironworking. It is impossible to avoid from being impressed to see those people making efforts to survive by brandishing hammers in front of fire and forming the iron with the strength of their fists. No one knows why, but maybe the fellows in Kula have been inspired by these voices. And this is such a music piece that it is the atmosphere of the Aegean as colourful, lyric and living as life. Manisa is located in a region which is rich of healing waters. Natural mineral waters are the source for healing diseases, and they are used by the people of the region for health purposes. Examples include Kurshunlu and Sardis spas in Salihli, Hisar and Sarıcık spas in Demirci, Menteşe spas in Soma, Emir spas in the district of Kula, and Turgutlu Uganlı spas. Manisa leans its back against the mythological Mount Spiel. On one side, the goddess of fertility, Kibili, relief as the symbol of Hittites. On the other side, daughter of King Tantalos, crying rock Niobe, look down to Manisa. Multicolored flora, the ponds, loose horses, all at once become a part of your passion for freedom. Mount Spiel is the homeland of Manisa tulip, also called the anemone, and the mount hosts hill climbing, trekking, paragliding as favorite activities of recent years. When Mount Spiel is in question, we should not fail to mention Manisa Tarzan Ahmet Bedevi. Manisa Tarzan spent his life on Mount Spiel and devoted himself to the nature. He is the first environmental artist of Turkey. The trees he planted paint Spiel and Manisa to green. Gediz Savannah is one of the most fertile lands of our country, and with the addition of suitable weather conditions, rich vegetation production, diversity becomes available in Manisa. Definitely, the most well-known product of the region is grape. You may see bunches of sultani grapes in the grapevines, each with distinct fertility and taste. Manisa is the second in seedless raisin production throughout the world, and it is a significant production center in Turkey. Manisa is also above the world average in cotton production with regards to productivity and quality. Another product which is known to be produced in this region since the ancient times and which have become the symbol of Manisa is olive. Olives produced in Akhisar for consumption are of quality sought by the counties throughout the world. Manisa has an important place in the production of olives and olive oil. This fruit has become famous as the Salili cherry and enriches the tables all around the world, and it is produced in Manisa. Agriculture develops together with the industry in Manisa. Raw materials for many goods are raised on these lands and also processed in factories established in this region. As large companies, included in Turkish market and foreign markets, made investments in Manisa, a separate value has been added to the assets of city. With this feature, Manisa has been selected as the most suitable city for investment in Europe. A hundreds of years old tradition lives in this city, being renewed with an enthusiasm growing every year. Mesir paste is integrated with the name of Manisa, and it is distributed and celebrated in a splendid international festival held every year. It started as the mother of Suleiman the Magnificent. Hafsa Sultan gets sick in Manisa and cannot be treated by the physicians of Palace. Then she is healed with mesir paste made by the physician and scholar Merkez Efendi by mixing 41 materials, mostly including various spices. The festival starts with traditional mesir paste mixing ceremony at the asylum of Sultan Mosque and continues as the Nevros fire is lit and iron forging on anvil is illustrated. Mesir Cortege starts in the front of the government house and continues up to the Sultan Mosque. Here, the ceremony in which Hafsa Sultan grants title to Merkez Efendi is illustrated, and the festival reaches its peak with the distribution of mesir pastes to the public.
Malumu camiden halka saçılması konusunda berat ve müsaadenizdir.
Baş üstüne sultan.
The crowd floats almost like sea. Thousands of hands reach for healing. At first, mesir paste has been distributed to patients, and then, upon intense demands, it is started to be distributed to the people from the tops of domes and minarets of Sultan Mosque. It achieved reputation in time and became a tradition. The distribution was converted into a ceremony and reached today as a festival. Every year, thousands of people assemble at the square and tons of mesir paste is distributed to the public. High officials of the government, foreign guests, and many domestic and foreign tourists, as well as participate in the enthusiastic ceremony held in front of the mosque. You should view Manisa from the hills during sundown. You may see houses in the plateau spreading between green tones on Mount Spiel, fat lands where so many kingdoms are buried, in the bright city of Republic of Turkey established on these lands. You would definitely find something to satisfy your needs in this city, where all the civilizations found something throughout the history. And as you leave Manisa, you would surely think of returning here again. Manisa is the bright face of modern Turkey, a city of the world, witness of old times, and where history flows from the heart.